The viewfinder was a long way from home. I thought it might be a good idea, just before exiting the skybox, to take one last glance homeward. From outside the skybox, Final Destination would appear too small for the viewfinder to make out any detail. Our game would be just a point of light, a lonely pixel, hardly distinguishable from the many other pixels the viewfinder could see. Hidden Easter eggs, unrendered darkness. But precisely because of the obscurity of our game thus revealed, such a screenshot might be worth having. It had been well understood by the frame data analysts and Smashboard's posters of antiquity that Melee was a mere point in a vast, encompassing cosmos. Look again at that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, every character you love, every character you've played, everyone you've ever watched, every smasher who ever was lived out their stocks. The aggregate of joy and suffering, thousands of confident playstyles, tier lists, chain grabs. Every memer and tryhard, every fan favorite and camper, every fantasy bracket MVP and bust. Every god and commentator, every doubles team that believed, every old school player, hopeful newcomer, coach, task explorer, every teacher of matchups, every corrupt tournament organizer, every GOAT, every villain. Every top player and scrub in the history of competitive Melee played there. On a mote of dust, suspended in a VFX sunbeam. Melee is a very small stage in a vast cosmic arena. Think of the rivers of salt spilled by all those gods and top players so that, in glory and triumph, they could become the momentary masters of a fraction of a dot. Think of the endless cruelties visited by the inhabitants of one corner of this pixel on the scarcely distinguishable inhabitants of some other corner. How frequent their misunderstandings, how eager they are to gimp one another, how fervent their rivalries. Our online posturing, our sponsored self-importance, the delusion that we have some privileged position in the esports universe, are challenged by this point of pale light. Melee is a lonely speck in the great enveloping cosmic dark. In our obscurity, in all this vastness, there is no hint that help will come from Nintendo to save us from ourselves. Melee is the only series known so far that can harbor our 16 years of history. There is nowhere else, at least in the near future, to which our players can migrate. Stream? Yes. Master? Not yet. Like it or not, for the moment, Melee is where we make our stand. It has been said that screenshotting is a humbling and character-building experience. There is perhaps no better demonstration of the folly of human conceits than this distant image of our tiny stage. And yet, it underscores our responsibility to deal more kindly with one another, and to preserve and cherish Melee, the only game we've ever known.